we visit our local treasure that was here before what is known as the happiest place on earth is Disneyland. But we're at the original happiest place on earth, Oakland's Fairyland. Fairyland is a place of inspiration and joy for children throughout the Bay Area and now the world. Tucked away in the heart of Oakland, California's Lake Merritt area, the Bay Area's oldest amusement park is still bringing fun and joy to the community. Join us as we tour the happiest place on earth in the Bay Area, Oakland's Fairyland. Spotlight with Shonda Scott at one of the happiest places on earth, what actually inspired the happiest, so-called happiest place on earth, the other place in Southern California. Wonderful Oakland's best kept secret, hidden gem, Fairyland. One of my favorite places growing up, then as a child and as an adult as well. And with me is the executive director of Fairyland, Miss CJ.
Hello, Shonda.
How
welcome.
you doing?
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
our world, our special world.
Wow, it's so enchanting. Every time I come back here, it still like takes me back to my childhood. And everyone always says, bring me a key. The Fairyland keys are well known all across the world.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I always want to find the key that I had as a child. Even though
Shonda, it still works. Okay, I'm just here to tell you that.
That's great. So today you're going to take me on a tour of Fairyland.
Yes.
Open today for business, and also some of the hidden gems that you do behind the scenes. Not only at Fairyland at the park, but what you're also doing in the community.
We are in the memory making business and we take it very seriously. So let me walk you around a little bit. We've always had what we used to call the personalities program.
Okay.
So it's kids from 8 to 10 who, it's a free program and they spend a year with us and they learn self-confidence, performance, and they really are ambassadors. And probably our most famous graduate of that theater program is our current mayor, Libby Schaaf, who used to be Cinderella and Raggedy Ann here at Fairyland.
Oh, how sweet. So this is I remember the puppet show. Now this is one of the performances?
Yes. We really know that playing is learning. And a lot of research is showing that now that that's really the case. So we're all about stories and books, early childhood literacy, and just fun.
Now, how has it changed since the generations have changed as far as technology, like you were saying, and just the way kids are engaging in fun? How does Fairyland evolve to that? Because it's been almost 70 years, and that's multiple generations, and now we're in the internet generation, Wi-Fi and all that. So how's Fairyland been able to keep up with the changes and still be fascinating?
That's a great question, and we've been able to even increase our relevancy for a number of good reasons. Again, a lot of research is catching up with us and showing that for kids to get out and to be physical and to use their imaginations and have imagination-driven play, that's really what will help kids be successful. And of course, reading, which is what we're all about. So there are a lot of parents right now and organizations dedicated to limiting screen time and really getting kids out and being socialized. And as I say, it's all about fun here. So whether it's our reading room where we encourage families to just walk in and pick up a book, or performances like this, or our puppet shows, it's all about engagement. And again, in the city of Oakland in particular, we need kids getting out and being physical because we have an issue with childhood obesity here. So this is just kind of a one-stop shopping for kids to just learn how to play, to relate with others, and to discover a joy of books. We have a very famous apprentice who was here many years ago. His parents were both puppeteers in Europe. And when he was a teenager, he was an apprentice, and he was so good that Jim Henson of the Muppets wanted to hire him before he graduated high school, and his parents said, no, you got to graduate high school. So Frank Osnowitz shortened his name later to Frank Oz and became Miss Piggy and Yoda.
Oh, and that's from Fairyland.
That's from Fairyland. He was an Oakland kid.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. Well, I know that, and you can tell me this too, about it's been told that Walt Disney came to Fairyland and was inspired to do Disneyland. Is that accurate? Is that true? Because I can see, because Disneyland's younger than Fairyland.
Oh yeah. We were the first storybook theme park in America. And Walt Disney knew what he wanted. He wanted a place that was very wholesome, very family-oriented, and at that time, in the late 40s, early 50s, there's a lot of carnivals, kind of a little bit sleazy.
Right.
So he went to Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen, and he came here because this is what we were then as well, just totally family-friendly. Nonprofits need to be creative, and we are very entrepreneurial. So I think you heard today, we do weddings, And as many nonprofits and museums do, we have adult events at night because you cannot come to Fairyland without a child. No child without an adult.
That always
no
fascinates
adult
right
without a child. That's just the way we do it.
Now I've come to your gala, and and I love it because I get to dress up as my favorite storybook character, and that's so fascinating as an adult. Like, when do you get to dress up and have fun at Fairyland as an adult?
All these folks were kids who've grown up in Oakland, and they just wanted to come back, and they don't have kids yet. So the biggest complaint they had that first year was, why didn't you have a puppet show?
Oh, so we all love the puppet show. I mean, that's the fondest memory, and that's so perfect for literacy and storytelling.
Absolutely.
To help children get, engaged in reading.
Absolutely. So we have, over the years we've been able to grow our staff also. So we now have an education director. So we go to underperforming schools in Oakland, and we have a kindergarten, a science standard, kindergarten and first grade programs based on our plants and our animals. Mini horses, mini goats, mini donkeys. We've got some chickens. And urban kids a lot of times don't see these animals, these friendly animals. This is our Old West Junction where the train is now going through.
Now, do you have a living garden or anything like? Have you gotten into that part of the?
We do. I'll show you. We have a learning garden.
Now, I love when the Golden State Warriors won the championship the first year, and they had Riley Land. Who thought of that? That was adorable.
Okay. I cannot take full credit for that because my horticulturalist who keeps all of our grounds this beautiful, she's a total jock.
Okay.
So when she heard that the parade would be going by, she said, you know what? And this was like the day before the parade.
Oh,
and
my
she said,
goodness.
why don't we change it to Riley Land?
Oh.
And I said, brilliant. I called I have a little art department with 1.5 people, and I called Shannon and I said, Shannon, can you do this?
Can you do this?
What would it take?
24 hours?
And she said it ended up taking like a few hours and $25 because that's the Fairyland
incredible.
way. And we did it. And I have to tell you, Shonda, I will never experience anything like that again. It went viral.
I know.
And what we said is that we understand Riley because he was taking her to
all the press conferences.
Yes, we understand toddlers. That's who we were all about. She's sassy. She's funny. She's adorable. So we thought, wouldn't that be fun? And it just captured the imagination.
Oh my goodness! And I can't imagine how they felt. What a surprise and how beautiful!
When they turned the corner. Yeah. But it was one of those fun
incredible.
things that went viral around the globe.
Right.
Because Steph and Riley, I mean.
Right. And how beautiful was that this community did that with her name for a magical kingdom.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. And then the next day it was gone. So this is our children's theater.
So Measure D.D. Bond built this? Oh, this is great.
And so again, we use it for that. Thank you. Thank you. So we use this, we have a summer production every year here. This is the home of our children's theater program. We just had a great meeting with a new LGBTQ center that just opened within walking distance of us. So we're thinking of what kind of family events can we host here.
Oh, nice.
And the International Rescue Committee is also right down the street. So we've had some families come on a free family membership to take advantage of that because they have enough going on in their lives.
Right.
That's,
they need a Fairyland
escape. They need a Fairyland. They need
a
dose of Fairyland.
And we all need a dose of Fairyland.
I think we
it's just so. And then
we all need to play, don't
you're
we?
right. You're watching Spotlight with Shonda Scott, and we will be right back.
Yo, it's your man Tony Scott from the KBLX Dream Team, and you're rolling with the Spotlight with Shonda Scott. She's incredible.
Welcome to Spotlight with Shonda Scott, where each week we bring you the best and the brightest, the movers and the shakers, and the hidden gems from all over the Bay. Let us shine a spotlight on your business. Sponsorship opportunities are available. For more information, visit us at spotlightwithshonda.tv. Today we are in San Francisco, California, visiting one of the most unique and amazing restaurants, not only in the Bay Area, but in the country. The Old School Cafe in San Francisco is a faith-based, youth-run supper club that provides employment opportunities and training in the restaurant industry to the city's at-risk youth. The vision is one of Teresa Goins, who is a former correctional officer, who launched the cafe to be a part of the solution. Old School Cafe started as a pop-up event with 250 guests in 2006 and now owns the building in which the restaurant is housed in the Bayview Hunters Point neighborhood. Join us as we sit down and talk to the founder and some of the youth proteges at the Old School Cafe. So I'm having an opportunity to sit here with the founder, Teresa Goins, who actually came up with this concept, and you weren't even in food service at all. You actually were a correctional officer.
Correct.
So
correct.
just tell me, how did you go from that career to then this beautiful ministry that you have here?
Thank you. Well, as an officer, I did a lot of listening to the young people. It broke my heart to see all these young people that were full of promise and intelligent and funny and incredible hearts just sort of stuck in the system. And so I thought I feel strongly about listening to those that are in the situation to what they feel like they need to get out. So I said, what do you think it would take for you to actually break out of the gangs, this whole revolving door? And I heard jobs. I heard a sense of family, because the gangs offered community and family and brotherhood. People are there for you. And a sense of purpose, because if they were somebody in the street, like, we all want to have purpose and be somebody.
That's true.
And so I thought, well, what if we could offer those three things? What if we could compete with the streets, but in a positive way? What if we could offer employment? And what if we could create this sense of family and home and mentorship around that, and a purpose that they're running it, right? So I was always trying to create in my mind, okay, and I was praying, God, give me a vision for what it would take to offer something better than the streets are offering, because we're going to go with the best option, right? And so I'm in San Francisco at the time, and I'm thinking, where are the jobs in the city? Well, 30% are hospitality, right? Restaurants, we're a foodie city, right? Hotels, and I thought, oh my gosh, every city has restaurants. Even if it's a podunk cafe, right? So it's the one job you can go anywhere in the world, and if you have experience, you're going to be able to get a job.
How did you come up with Old School Cafe? I always wondered that. It's a beautiful place, but how did you connect with the young people and decide, I'm going to say it's going to be Old School Cafe?
So it was actually named by one of the young people. Old School, I like that. So I just added the cafe part at the end, and then named it after my mom, Cora Jeans. So it's Cora Jeans Old School Cafe.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that part. So you launched years ago, and now you're going to do a relaunch with a whole new concept. So just talk about that process, like the opening before and now the relaunch, and what that'll mean to the cafe and the city.
So we are reopening because in the beginning we didn't have enough money to actually complete the place. So we didn't have money for a bar, for an ADA handicap entrance, and several things that we wanted to be able to make it fully the spot that we needed, and just financially to have the bar there and a place that people can gather without a reservation. They can just come in after work for happy hour and gather. So that's what we're renovating for. We're also going to have more of a private dining, semi-private dining room for larger groups. So that's what we're going to be reopening, but we also now are going to have a bigger team. So I had to start very kind of scrap together. A lot of the furniture is from Craigslist. It was all volunteers that built it in the beginning. So we're just finally, after 6 years, able to sort of go to the next level.
So how many employees do you have that work on staff and a part of the training and the whole team?
Yeah.
And how many of those are the at-risk youth.
Right. So we're going to have, so it fluctuates, right? Because we have youth that it's about a 2-year program. So we have youth that are coming in and youth that are exiting and going on to work at other restaurants and other businesses and to school. So 25 at a time is kind of our max. We serve about 40 a year. And the idea is that they get part-time. So it's part-time work because we want them to be in school. And so it's a nice mix. And so, yeah, about 25 at a time. And then we have, I think we're going to 12 adult staff. So from the trainers in the back of the house, front of the house, coaches, my role, those that are helping media get the word out.
Now you've actually not only, some people don't know in San Francisco, so it'll be good to have the relaunch so they'll learn about the Old School Cafe. But it's amazing that they don't know because you've received national and international attention because of the CNN Heroes, that you were acknowledged as the CNN Heroes. What was that moment like for you, having this vision and then actually getting acknowledged by CNN? I mean, that's a huge award and recognition.
Thank you. Well, I think when it finally all came to fruition and just walking into the restaurant and the youth are running it, they're setting up, and it's not dependent on me, they're really doing it. They are running the show. Like, that never gets old to me. So when CNN and some others came and they said, wow, we value this model, we want to see this in other cities, it was just super encouraging, right? Because when you're grassroots and you're like trying to get your name out, that please come support our youth, come and eat here, and then when all of a sudden it kind of starts to catch on and blow up and people are telling your story, it's the best.
Stay linked in with us as you follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember, #Spotlight with Shonda.
How did you first hear about Old School?
Through chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders? That's a good story.
My auntie brought me here one day.
Okay.
I love the chicken tenders.
Okay.
And basically, I asked Mother Teresa if I could work here for her food. But I was on like 7 at the time, so she said no.
She said no.
Yeah. So I just...
Years later, Darius, first of all, came about a year ago and interviewed. And made it all the way through application and interview. And that when I sat down, we started talking, I said, how old are you? He goes, I'm 15. So he had fudged it a little to try and get in.
So you had to get a work permit, right?
So he ended up, we told him he was too young that round, but to come back, and he was right in it next time. And he's getting ready in the next week or so to graduate.
Yeah.
And,
Hopefully I'll see y'all more and more.
Yeah.
so from this so we do the first 12 weeks is a kind of an introduction. It's intro to Old School. So they learn hosting. What else have you learned?
Hosting, waitering, how to greet the table, how to bust the table, get it ready for new people.
How about back?
Back, we learn dishwashing, cutting, utensils, where everything goes and where everything's placed. Yes.
And then they do a lot of life skills. So then after that 12 weeks, which will be next week, he's going to graduate and then can be a full employee.
It's a little rundown. We serve international soul food, which is comfort food from around the world. We get most of our recipes from youth. For example, if you look at the openers, you'll see the ota on the top right. That was from one of our previous youths. And then if you look at the classics, we have the Abu's peanut butter stew. So just dishes like that. We like to get our food from the youth, and we hire youth from the neighborhood just to help them learn like life skills and like how to be successful in the restaurant business. When I first started here, I was mainly on the dish pit, and then I wanted to try and be like a line cook, but there was already like 3-4 people.
There was
working.
a line.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Let's just try and be a server, because like I get to greet customers, I get to see their reactions to the food, and I get to hopefully show them a good time.
My name is Isis. Nice to meet you all. I came out of school by looking for jobs online, and I realized their story and like how they really help youth out here, and I wanted to be a part of it, so I decided why not apply. And when I did, I felt really welcomed, and they really do help with any problems at home, or if you like feel trouble, they really are a support system to lean on.
I used to be the presiding judge of the juvenile court.
Oh, wonderful.
And so I've toured a number of our camps and the youth authority facilities. I mean, I've gone as far as Rialto, California, all the way up to Sacramento. And this is the concept that we tried to get everyone to embrace when I was there at juvenile. We had an Iron Chef competition, and our kids at the camp won. And it was a competition with the community. And from that, kids were able to get jobs. And so I knew about Old School Cafe when you guys first opened. And we brought a group of people here. And so now to come back when you have these renovations is pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
Thanks
you
for sharing
you're
that.
doing some wonderful work. Because all of our kids, they want to be employed, they want to have a sense of family, and they want to have consistent adults in their life.
Welcome to Spotlight with Shonda Scott, where each week we bring you the best and the brightest, the movers and the shakers, and the hidden gems from all over the Bay. Let us shine a spotlight on your business. Sponsorship opportunities are available. For more information, visit us at spotlightwithshonda.tv. You are watching Spotlight with Shonda Scott. If you missed an episode or want to see exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, go to our YouTube channel and join by clicking the subscribe button.
Hey, what's up? It's Antoine Davis, and you're on Spotlight with Shonda Scott. Stay tuned in. She'll have more to come.
Over the past 10 years, we have been able to tell some amazing stories and highlight some incredible people. So let's take a look back at one of our throwback episodes. I'm Shonda Scott, your host, and I have the pleasure of interviewing today one of our alumni from Oakland Unified School District, entertainment manager, film producer, TV, what aren't you doing? Marcus King from Fremont High School.
Yeah, that sounds weird to even be here from Fremont. It's just like, I never thought I would get any kind of prowess from graduating from an Oakland public school, but, here I am on almost Oprah.
But see, that's why we want kids today to see the possibility. So now there's a new generation that can see these possibilities, that know that they can be the next Marcus King.
Absolutely.
So tell us about your path from Fremont High to Hollywood. How did that go?
When I was at Fremont High, I didn't have any ambition to be in the entertainment business. So it's kind of disjointed. It's just, I think growing up in Oakland and how eclectic it is and how diverse it is, it gives you kind of a great foundation to have a great imagination. So I imagined things that, that didn't seem attainable.
Oh, so you imagined the impossible and you became the possible.
Yeah, I don't know if I purposely did that. I think, I think it's luck and God's blessing moreover.
I like the fact that you're in Hollywood, you're working with all these people, managing their life and their careers, making everyone successful as well as you and your family, but you're humble. You still remain humble. At least you look that way to me.
You didn't see my jet pull up out of
No, that's fine to have that, but I mean, as far as, you're
I'm
not
kidding about
wearing
the
it
jet,
all over yourself. You were just a real person that is doing great things, and you still have that knowing that something higher is guiding your life, and you're humble in that regard.
Well, I think, if I look at it from a cultural standpoint, I don't know how humble I am. I just look at it like, if we haven't really made it, I'm not trying to sound too philosophical, but if we haven't really made it culturally, then who am I to stand on top and say, look what I did?
Wait, great. As far as community, what kind of work do you do in Oakland or in the community as far as?
Kente was just pointing out, we do this thing every summer, with Desley Brooks. And I think that's the 8th district or the 6th district.
The 6th district, right.
The
comedy.
Yeah, in the Royal Park.
Right.
And what we're trying to do is kind of bring the community together by doing that event through laughter. I started in the comedy business. And I'm known for being in the comedy business, and we do that with Mark Curry, who hosts the event. And I think it's
council member. Well, she's vice mayor now. Vice Mayor Desley Brooks.
Oh, she's vice mayor?
She's vice mayor.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay. So she's no longer over that district?
She's still over that district, but she's
vice mayor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got to shake her hand differently now.
Exactly. You gotta
kneel, kind of.
Exactly.
Okay. We do that event, and I think it's good I think laughter is healing, first and foremost. So that's fun for us to kind of put those comics on stage and watch the reaction of that community. One of the communities I grew up in as a kid, I used to ride my bike to a Royal Park.
Oh, me too. I remember a Royal Park.
Yeah, that was like I lived on 103rd, and I would ride to a Royal Park, and that was like a big adventure when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
That's back when you could do it.
When you could do that, right.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what happened now.
But the Royal Park I like because it was the community events you're doing now is bringing it back to what it was when we were growing up. Mm-hmm. And that's what our community was missing, that kind of connection, coming to the park, feeling safe, and seeing entertainers coming there, that Oakland is a platform for a lot of great talent. Even Susan Taylor from Essence said that Oakland is like the creative mecca of the world.
It's like no other place in the world. And we have with Jamie, we play a little joke with him when we travel.
Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
Oh, you play around with him?
I mean, when we travel around the world, we do this, how many people we can find from Oakland. And we can be in Japan, we can be in Africa, we can be in Europe somewhere, and we'll find somebody from Oakland. And it kind of bugs him to death because he says it's everybody from Oakland. But I try to explain to people.
Because you're from Oakland, Mark Curry's from Oakland, and Jamie's kind of like the honorary Oakland member.
Yeah,
he's like the Tupac of the group.
Well, we made him do everything here.
Right,
so,
right.
In terms of everything, this has some significance. Mm-hmm. From HBO specials to concerts to everything else, we kind of emanate from here. But I think this is a true audience. This is going to be the true test of whether the quality of your entertainment is where it should be.
David Wayans even said that. He said, "You come to Oakland, you know if you're funny."